This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future.
So you want to start off with a clean and fresh face as usual, and I'm going in with a glue stick and I'm just going to hide my brows. Then taking the NYX Jumbo pencil in Milk, I'm just creating some upside down brows. The reason why I'm using the NYX Jumbo pencil in Milk is because it has a nice thick consistency which is perfect for applying eyeshadow on later. So I'm beginning the brows where my real brows sort of begin, but then I'm just kind of pointing them upwards so they look really angry and evil. Taking an angled brush and some eyeshadow, I'm using the NYX Ultimate Brights eyeshadow palette for this. You want to go ahead and start packing on some pigment. And I'm creating a green to a yellow gradient and then to a black gradient. You want to pack on the pigment as much as you possibly can to create the strongest look. I then took some concealer and lined underneath the brows. This is going to both hide my real brows and define my new brows. I do apologise that I didn't film applying the concealer on. I think my camera had died while I was doing this. But you want to basically clean up and sharpen both of the brows and apply them underneath both of them. And you also want to do exactly the same thing above the brows as well, and then of course blend it out nicely. If you want this look to be a little bit more eye-catching, I suggest using a really light concealer just to really make it pop. By the way, all the exact products that I used will be listed in the description box below. Moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be priming them, and then for some reason, because I work in really random orders, I'm just going to go ahead and apply some foundation, and I'm using the MAC Studio Fix for this. And I'm just simply taking a beauty blender and I'm just going to blend that away, just like you would on a normal day. Bouncing straight back onto the eyes, taking the Ultimate Brights eyeshadow palette or whatever eyeshadow you have, I'm starting to pack on some yellow onto my eyelid. Using my eyeshadow brush, I'm just blending and feathering up the yellow in the similar direction to my eyebrows. Now I'm taking some pink and applying this above the yellow. Make sure it's blended nice and smoothly and they don't sort of mix into each other. Try and keep them as separate as possible. Okay, so I've already done the eyeliner on the other eye, but you want to go ahead and do exactly the same thing on the other eye, but except from I'm using kind of different colours. I'm using a blue instead of a yellow. So really pack on that pigment and get that colour strong. Guys, I'm really sorry, but sometimes I get really carried away that I forget to film, but as you can see, I've already applied some white eyeliner as well to really separate the colours and create a dramatic cut crease. I took the NYX white eyeliner and did this. Now I'm going in with the NYX Epic ink liner and I'm just creating a big dramatic wing. You want to think about the direction of the cut crease and your brows, make sure that they match nicely. I made them large and dramatic because I really wanted them to look fierce. Then I'm taking the same NYX white eyeliner and I'm just applying this underneath my eyes. Okay, so it looks like we're moving on to the body, even though the face isn't finished, just because I like to work in really random orders. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm taking the KRYOLAN UV colours this time, and I'm using pink for this, and I'm starting to create the outline of a clock. I'm then taking a red and then doing another one, and then green and doing another one. Of course, you want to create some variation of different types of clocks and shapes to make it a bit more interesting and have fun with it. Obviously, of course, I'm using reference images by Salvador Dali, but of course I wanted to give my own acid kind of trip to it. Don't worry about details and things like that just yet. We're just going to get the basic shapes down. We'll worry about that later. So the UV colours was a water-based paint, but this time I'm going to take the KRYOLAN Supracolor in white, which is a more creamy paint, and I'm taking a beauty blender and I'm literally just going to fill in the shapes that I created. Moving on, so now we're going to get a little bit more detailed here. I'm taking a fine brush and I'm using the Supracolor in black, which is also a cream paint, and I'm literally just going to outline on the insides of the clocks. The line doesn't have to be too perfect and neat because we're going to blend this out anyway, which as you can see I've already taken a brush and started doing this. So when I say blending out, I mean blend on the insides of the clocks only onto the white areas. This is going to begin to create the illusion and trick the eye into thinking that the white areas are behind the frames of the clocks. And of course, just repeat the same steps on each clock. By the way, you don't have to use cream colours, you can literally use water-based paints for everything. It's completely up to you and all depends on what you prefer. But I just personally think that using Supracolors can be super easy to blend. Take your time when applying and feathering out black because it's so easy to overdo it and add too much. Bouncing back onto the face, I've started contouring my cheekbones already, and you want to go ahead and contour your forehead and your jawline and your nose and all of that good stuff as well. A huge mistake that I have done, I will admit, is I did not conceal underneath my eyes or highlight my forehead. I don't know why, I think I just forgot. So yeah, just remember to do that as well, guys. So as I'm contouring, I'm deliberately making this really heavy and obvious and defined. This is because I wanted it to be heavy on purpose and just create a striking vibe. So you just go ahead and pretend you're a sculptor and chisel that face. Taking the NYX Born to Glow highlighter, I'm using of course the lightest, brightest one. You want to go ahead and apply this onto your cheekbones. As you can see, I'm packing literally so much on to the point where you'll be blinded when you look at me. And then go ahead and apply this onto your nose, your forehead, and above your lips as well. And chin. Taking the same UV colours, I'm applying this onto the edges of my mouth until it goes above my ears. I'm creating these wiggly, wavy, wobbly lines. I'm just starting off really lightly and then I'm just thickening up the lines as I'm working. I'm creating some green drips, or it almost looks like saliva, which also really reminds me of Rick Sanchez. And then just experiment, play around, have fun, use different colours and just go crazy. I'm also introducing just a streak of white as well to bring it out even more. Moving on to the shadow. Now this is going to create a really big difference, but I'm taking an angled brush and I'm just creating a streak of black underneath the wavy lines, and then I'm grabbing a normal eyeshadow brush or a wider brush and you want to go ahead and gently feather the lines out. This is going to create the illusion that these acidy lines are actually popping out from your face, and it just really brings out the details and creates a 3D look. Once again, take your time and build it up slowly. And then going in with some white, I'm creating some more white streaks. Moving back onto the body, you want to do exactly the same thing but to the clocks. But this time I'm doing it on the outer edges of the clocks, and again this is going to create the illusion that they are 3D objects and they are sitting on top of your skin. And then taking some white, you want to go ahead and apply these onto the frames of the clocks, which is of course going to create these shines and reflections. And then taking a fine detailed brush, we are going to paint on the numbers. Remember guys, you're doing this in a mirror, so you have to paint them backwards. Good luck with that. Now for the lips, I'm taking the NYX Lip Lacquer in Steam and I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in, avoiding the UV areas. Taking some eyeliner, I'm then lining underneath my eyes, underneath the white lines that I created earlier, and then I'm creating some points on the inner corners of my eyes. Taking some white eyeliner, I'm just creating different sized circles on my face, simply because I can. Are you ready for this, guys? So applying eyelashes and contact lenses just makes the biggest difference. Are you ready? Watch this, are you ready? Boom, bitch. Next, you want to shave half your hair off because fuck it. Don't actually do that just for this look, okay guys? Okay, cool. Dun dun dun. Do 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 do. Shaving my hair for no reason. Okay, so if you have a shaved side, you can go ahead and continue the line until it goes right behind your ear. And then I'm creating an extra melted clock in orange. Go ahead. Aha, pun unintended. And of course you just want to repeat exactly the same steps as you did on your chest. I think you get the gist by now, but instead it's a cute little teeny tiny one. Next you want to grab your hairbrush or your wide tooth comb, whatever you have, and you want to remove your hair. What the fuck is she doing? Taking some hairspray, I'm using the Got To Be Glued one. I'm then gonna create myself a moustache. I used some liquid latex to apply this. Imagine your parents actually met each other and decided, you know what, let's get married and have a baby. Only for that baby to grow up and decide, you know what I'm gonna do with my life? I'm gonna stick my own hair to my fucking face. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I really hoped you enjoyed it and that you found it helpful. If you'd like to see much more of this kind of content, then please feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear. Also feel free to follow me on Instagram at gothspectrum, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Evolution.